Yes, I'm in my working clothes again, as I call them. Hope to get out and do something out there today. Just a little holes in the Swiss cheese, as they say. So many projects around me here. Forms of gardening. I haven't even come to plant things, really, vegetables. I haven't got a vegetable garden yet. I'm hopeful. But there's so much preparations before that. Yeah, if we were to make draw the line, people say red lines in the sand or draw a line or whatever. When people talk about overpopulation, warning light goes on here in my head. When people talk about chips in the brain, and they're not relating it to prosthetics as something exceptional, as like a gift to try and help people who've lost arms and legs in war, mainly. I mean, I know there are other accidents, but most of the stuff comes about through the arrogance of leaders. And then you've got the going to Mars people. Again, red light goes on. Bottom line here, I feel, don't you love bottom lines? The bottom line here is, this world that we're experiencing and how it relates to the inner goings on, you could say in a divine or spiritual sense, that's outside the box of the worldly box. I had a nice inkling from a rabbi once who was relating ego, and I agreed with him. He was relating the ego to connect it to the soul, which is looking ahead and behind in every direction and moving forward, and relating it to just this time frame of one life. You're born, you're 1 year old, and you die when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, or maybe more. So that's the other way of looking at it, like your ego is related to this time, limited time zone between birth and death, or it's relating to something beyond soul, what I refer to as soul. And so all these, they're like distractions to the soul, like going to Mars or overpopulation, or even the gay world and the bisexual world. All those, they're not helpful in the sense that we're here, we procreate. And there's more and more and more layers on the pearl with each of our worlds. That's soulful thinking, I feel. And without that, we're just stuck in it's like 9 to 5, but it's like 1 to whenever we're going to die. And there's nothing else. There's a possibility of connection. I really do believe it. And the instant payoff of connection, I feel, to something other than just this time zone, is serendipity. Serendipity is a way that the other, as I say, that's not just us in this, time frame and this world that we perceive now. Well, there's so many people talking like this now, I feel. I don't feel I'm alone. People are waking up, and war and the military complex must be the victim. The victim is all those people who are right now earning their money, paying for their meals by military complexes. They're the losers. They must lose. They must lose. They must be drained of all their powers. All of AI must be designed to serve everybody, not just military complex. In fact, not at all military complex. We've got to start thinking about, as I said, an Israel, or no, I should say a Palestine, with no military. Like a global protectorate. No military. No military in Ukraine. Ukraine protected by an agreement with Russia and China and Europe, if you like. The same thing with Israel. An agreement to protect it from anybody who would like to introduce violence and bullying and push other people around. First and foremost, protect them by not having a military that would do it in the first place. And say, well, what about you have a neutral state, and then what happens if it's attacked from the outside? Deal with it when that happens, if it happens. But don't plan for it to happen. And make lots of money and weapons to prepare for when it's happened. You know how fast in the Second World War, when the shit hit the fan, how fast it was for America to put all those factories together, to produce all those planes, to produce all those weapons. They reacted. They probably weren't prepared so much in the beginning, but so this idea of being proactive to the point that we've created atomic bombs and now every day more and more and more and more and more. And look in the wings. What do you see? What do you see in the wings waiting to come on stage? Robots. Artificially run robots. And robots can run around with guns. I mean, drones are like flying robots with guns. And so, put them to use for us. Okay, in factories we're producing cars for a few people. We're producing this for a few people. All this attention to making life better. Cars, World Wide Web, telephones, the whole... Considered that it's to the betterment of humanity. I like the phrase that all things work for the good in the realms of divinity and serendipity. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but it's happening. And right now, I'd like to believe we're at a turning point where the mask of the military complex is being whipped away. And all the energy and all we could say love, money or whatever that's been pushed into military complexes all over the world. It's like the military complex is a very international thing. It's like everybody has to and must have, and every day you've got to spend more money. Like a little island like Ireland has to produce all these now millions and millions and millions of euro to arm, put boots, trousers, shirts, buttons, guns, military, barracks, all of this money. What for? To defend Ireland against what? Who? China, of course. China? Well, Russia, of course. Russia? I mean, what about North Korea? Africa? Who's going to attack Ireland? It's not a question about people attacking Ireland. It's like, who's going to force the Irish boys and girls to put on their uniforms and get out to defend the principles of what? Of who? What religion? What government? Our individualities, our rights to just exist, perform, breathe, sleep. Anyway, again, one more time. What I'm proposing basically is that this is immortal zone. It is an immortal zone. But unlike maybe, the imagined body of Mars or the imagination of the body of Jupiter or of some other bodies in outer space that I could imagine, Earth is a precious pearl, and we have the ability here to come, experience our lifetimes here, die, and move on and on and on. Each time our past disappears, just about, everything, this, in time, where's this pullover going to be in 1,000 years? In museum, I don't think so. It'll be gone. Everything goes eventually. It gets, and life goes on, and life goes on. And all the material world goes back into light that it came from. And we're reborn again. We die, but it's not like, is that not the lesson of Christianity? He didn't die. The spirit went on. The spirit lives on. The spirit that gives a human the ability to love. The spirit that gives humanity the ability to love. It seems the catch is, in order to have the ability to love, it is required the ability to hate. Now, hate rather than is unlike love. I feel it's not an ability. It just allows us to hate. And I guess, in a sense, hate is like, a lot of times it's so mixed up with love, because we're hating what appears to us to be not love. We hate the idea of bombs blowing up houses with mothers and children and boys and girls in them. We hate that. We hate it. Something sweet. But you can imagine the perverted mind actually say, in the game, when they're lost in this game of mental war, we're winning, They're losing because they're being blown to pieces. We're winning because we're blowing them to pieces. And of course, they'd rather be a hammer than a nail. And we're all called to love. That's what I feel. We all have the ability to love and love more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Experience more love. And hopefully avoid. Especially unnecessarily hate, as it were. Okay, one more time, I'm going to sing my song for today. It's basically bringing myself to another, you could say, state of consciousness to some extent, hopefully. New strings and my old classical guitar. One's love is mighty, merciful, true, mighty, merciful, true. Sound, movement, oh, what about rays of my sun, my planet's preserver, preserving on and on and on and on and on. One love is mighty, merciful and true. Mighty, merciful, true. Is giving each of us its children love, loving angel wings, and we come here loving just about everyone and everything. all of those angels. Keep on loving, loving you and me too. And sure, we are like seeds of love upon the earth. They're coming true. And all of our thoughts enemies are falling beneath one sweet love, love, loving feet. One love is mighty, merciful, true, mighty, merciful, true. And one love gives each and every one of us a world, a lifetime to witness and feel. All of the love, all of our world, come on through. Seeds of love like me and you. Though all of our worlds pass on away, they're gone, the love lives on. Like a worn-out clothes, all of lifetime's changes. This one's love, ever and ever, remains the same. Like evolving drops of rain, again and again. Evolving drops of love and rain. Love's evolving drops of rain. One love's mighty, merciful and true. And today being May the 25th. May the 25th. How you doing, baby?